for me, breaststroke was always a special animal. Everyone knows it. Everyone can swim breaststroke, which is the first stroke, which is the easiest. I'm saying that to start with, but the easiest in terms of having this one here and doing some frog style and some sort of how you learn it in school. Again, I put back the statement which I made with butterfly. Butterfly is the hardest stroke to learn. Breaststroke is the hardest stroke to swim. I'm going more into detail about how to swim, because if you want to maintain a certain speed with breaststroke and want to be at a certain level for a long time to be really fast at the end, it's very hard to do, because you have this forward backward rhythm, like 2 step forward, 1 step back rhythm in your stroke itself. How do you see that?
Yeah, I totally. So I'm not a breaststroke. What I learned from our talk, actually, you are a breaststroker. So for the IM races, I was very heavy out on butterfly, like maintained on backstroke, tried not to get past on breaststroke, and then tried to catch up for freestyle. So I really enjoy coaching breaststroke, but as far as swimming breaststroke fast, I never quite like made it there. And I do believe that there's some genetic components that you might have been born with that I may not have. It doesn't mean I couldn't have trained myself into being better at breaststroke, but to be the best at breaststroke, I do think that there are like hip, ankle flexibility, knee flexibility that play a big role on this weird whip kick that this stroke has.
Yeah, the kick I wanted to go on. I mean, it's two movements which you have to align in a certain rhythm. So the alignment of the rhythm is also kind of difficult, I guess, or a lot of people struggle with, but less so than with the rhythm in butterfly. And what people need to start to realize is breaststroke kick as such is not this frog, but usually it's explained when you listen to courses when people teach kids or grown-ups, you need to pull it there, you need to flap out, and then you need to make this circle, which is not a false, but it's not kind of how you need to do it for swimming or swimming fast, because it's really like pulling the legs to yourself, flap out, and then push back. It's instead of moving, you need to be as close, as small as possible with your stroke. I think the one person which does it the best, well, he's also the best when it comes to that, is Adam Peaty in that stroke. I guess he mastered it, and if people who are listening want to know what is best in breaststroke, maybe look at his technique. There's a lot of videos on YouTube and Instagram out there. Yeah, I mean, as I said, this is more the thing where people struggle with, but afterwards, I guess, timing is also a problem, I guess.
Yeah, timing is weird too, right? Because normally on the other three strokes, you can pick parts where they're really connected well, and breaststroke it's pull first, kick second. And so you're really like dependent on the kick, because if the legs take a long time, then it's going to affect the pull and vice versa. So when I was a younger coach, I used to think about it like an accordion. I'd be like, oh, everything just like comes together and then it goes out at the same time, which is a super wrong way to coach breaststroke, because there is that delay in the kick with the start of the arms. You have to get the flow right. So you're actually in the water to move forward.
Yeah. Well, it is. You're saying right. Like a lot of things which are also in the old school, how we started off, or I started off, was taught, is actually not how it is, how you swim it now, or how over time even yourself you realize it's not. And this is one of them. So one is this circle which people get wrong. Obviously, this one doesn't hurt your legs as much, because one thing which funny enough, when they say you're gonna go and swim, you start off with breaststroke, but it's actually the least healthy one for people, because you have this you turn out your knees, which a lot of people have then problems with. It's not like when people talk about shoulder problems with butterfly or backstroke or freestyle, because that can be avoided with body rotation, shoulder rotation, and proper. This is just a movement which is too little, and then it happens. And breaststroke, this is a movement which happens anyway, no matter what you do, and actually shouldn't stop with breaststroke. That is usually what I suggest there. I don't know if you see that too, or which.
Yeah, like your knees are just like our elbows; they're hinge joints. So like our elbows have a little bit of give, right? Like we can rotate around in that, but it's nothing like a ball and socket that can kind of just move and roll and be wherever it needs to be. So some people, to get the turn out while flexed up is extremely hard, and over time, like the tibia, which are like the bones down there, can get aggravated. Like the tendons can get aggravated. So the more narrow the kick, like you're saying with Adam, the more push style kick versus like the whip or full frog kick, the more pressure you put on like the inside of the knees and the outside of the knees, which is a common issue for breaststrokers. A lot of breaststroke kicking can really mess up your knees, and they say for age groupers, you don't want to do too much breaststroke kick because the kids are growing, and obviously you don't want to like hinder their trajectory with swim either.